Let's talk about another Piedmont ghost story. Now, this story actually takes place about 15 minutes away from where we're based. This is the story of the Little Red Man. So, the Little Red Man takes place in the historic district of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Originally, this town was just known as Salem. It was a Moravian settlement that eventually merged with the town of Winston to become Winston-Salem. That's why there's the hyphen in between. Within this historic district, there's a house called the Single Brothers House, and that's where this story takes place. In 1786, there was a young shoemaker named Andreas Kresmer, and Kresmer was unfortunately killed while excavating new foundation for the Single Brothers House. Now, Moravians are traditionally very good at keeping records, which is how we have this information to find out what happened. Now, from the records, Kresmer was apparently working late into the night, and around midnight, he was caught underneath some falling earth. He succumbed to his injuries, sadly passing away a few hours later. And through the years that followed, strange noises were reported at this house, one of them being the gentle tapping of what appeared to be a shoemaker's hammer. Now, in addition to these sounds, there were also reports of a small man who was wearing a red cap similar to what Kresmer had been wearing when he passed away. Now, this wasn't any sort of malicious ghost. In fact, Kresmer's ghost is apparently very playful. Now, eventually, this house was transformed into a home for widowed women. Now, the most famous story we know of the Red Man comes from the granddaughter of one of these widowed women. Little Betsy was out playing in the garden and excitedly ran in to tell her grandma when she saw a man standing in the garden wearing a red hat beckoning her to come play. I do have some bad news, though, for anyone wanting to see the Little Red Man, because supposedly he's not there anymore. As the legend goes, an important member of the community was showing the Single Brothers house to an important visitor. During this show, they went down to the cellar where the Little Red Man appeared. Now, the visitor, he was really upset by this paranormal activity in this town, so a minister was called in to sort of exorcise this ghost. And ever since, supposedly, you cannot see the Red Man anymore. But Old Salem is an incredibly cool town with great history. If you want to go, most of the houses are reopening. In fact, the Single Brothers house just opened recently. It cost a few bucks to get in, but it's a good day trip, so I'd recommend going. And as always, thanks for watching and stay weird.